Hello and welcome back to another episode of Creator Codes. My name is Cassandra. You can call me Cass, Cassie, whatever you like. And I want to let you know that I have a deck here in my hands of tarot cards. And I'm going to do a little reading for you guys today because I want to talk to you about tarot and how it's impacted my life, like how to use it, why it could be an important tool to have, why it could be just a fun tool to have, and why not do a little reading for you guys on this episode. So I'll save that for the end because I want to give you kind of like the information about tarot just to have that more of that connection as I stop shuffling at the star card. Talk about connection with the stars and your higher self. So I want to keep this as brief as possible. Not gonna lie, I tried to record an episode, but I just started to go on tangents because it's like it excites me so much. So I'm like, all right, focus, Cass, let's go. And by the way, if this is your first episode or first video that you are coming across on YouTube or Spotify or wherever you're watching me, my name is Cassandra. I am a tarot reader, an intuitive guide, a spiritual guide, I don't know, whatever you want to call me. I'm a teacher and I love to teach, and I'm a humanitarian. And that's why I love to do collective reading. So maybe you have found me on TikTok or Instagram doing these readings for the people. And it's been so fun. It's accelerated my business to a level where I did not even imagine. Like, I didn't know that tarot was like the thing that I was even good at. I didn't even know, okay? It fell onto my lap. You know how those Oscar-winning actors are like, I had no idea I would be an actor ever. It just happened. That's how I feel about tarot. Like, I had no idea. No idea. I dabbled with a couple decks in the past, but they were more oracle decks. Which, by the way, the difference between oracle and tarot, oracle can be anything. So I have a few different oracle decks, which I love. It's more of just like, they could be sayings, they could be one word, they can be, like I have an animal deck with different spirit animals on it, with different messages. So that's really fun. I like to use those with tarot. Sometimes I like to get the theme from oracle decks. Sometimes I like to just kind of pull an oracle card for confirmation or whatever it is. And I just split the deck to the sun card. So the stars and the sun, it's all aligning planetarily. Anyways, I'm really excited to talk about tarot today because it really has changed my life. And I just want to let you know that this is something that, like, you don't have to have a business when you use tarot, because obviously this is something I do. This is something like I do. And that's why it doesn't feel like work for me, because it's something I'm so passionate about. But you can still be passionate about tarot or have fun with it or use it as a tool for spiritual guidance, even if it's not a business. So I just wanted to put that little side note in there. Because this episode could really be for everyone. Maybe you just got your first tarot deck or you want to buy a tarot deck, and this will help you realize maybe why it could help. So I just want to start off by saying tarot is not a way where you need to just set all logic and intuition aside and you just look at the card and black and white, there it is. It's much more nuanced than that. And that's why in Tarot Intuition Mastery, which is a course that I have, and it starts on March 27th, woo! A lot of you guys are on the wait list. I have over 100 people on the wait list, and I have to limit this class. So make sure if you're not on the wait list, get on there, because you are the first come, first serve peeps. You also get a lower price, and I'm giving away a one-on-one soul alignment session for someone who signs up from the wait list for Tarot Intuition Mastery. Now, this is a 12-week course where it is half live recorded. I mean, they are recorded live, but half of them will be sent out to you pre-recorded, and then half of them will be live, but those will also be recorded if you can't make it to the live classes. I do personal readings in this class because it's a really great way to teach and to give back to you guys who sign up for the course. I want to give you guys personal readings for being in the room with me. And, you know, a one-on-one session with me is $385 for 1 hour. So 12 weeks, this is going to be such a great deal for you. So make sure you're on the wait list to get the lowest price possible. And I will have payment plans for you. Don't worry. Otherwise, you'll just have to pay a little bit more when it goes live to the public. So I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about giving away that session. And also, I want to mention I have a free class that is coming soon. If you are listening to this after, you can always get the recording, of course. But it's a free, maybe I'll put it on YouTube. I might put it on my YouTube channel. But either way, I would love to have you live because I'll answer your questions as well. And it's just a different energy when you're there live. On Tuesday, March 11th, and it will be at 1 p.m. MST. Now, the time is going to change before then. I think we have daylight savings, so that's a little confusing, but it's going to be at 1 p.m. MST, and I'll send that out to my email list if you're on there. So just wanted to get that out of the way. But for this episode today, I just really want to go into tarot. So let's do it. I was not expecting to get into tarot. I came across a reading from someone on TikTok, and I've never been like a big TikTok person, but I think someone might have sent me, I don't know, it just came divinely. It was perfect divine timing of it just coming into my life. I sobbed and sobbed and sobbed and was like, what is happening? Like, I'm having a visceral reaction to someone looking at cards and telling me about my life. Ooh, my ears are ringing. Wow. And it was such an impact that it really sparked my curiosity of like, if someone made an impact on me doing this, I want to do that impact for others. Like, I want to make that impact. But it wasn't even that thought at first. It was more of like, let me try this out. I feel like I want to see what would happen if I tried this. At the time, I only had one deck, and it was not a tarot deck. It was an astrology deck by Lily Ashwell. She's incredible. She's an astrology girly, but she also is making a new tarot deck that comes out, I think, next year, which I cannot wait for. And she's making that with Blue of Earth, if you're familiar with them. I just follow them on Instagram, and I love them. Cannot wait for that deck. And so I was using this astrology deck to dabble. I was like, let's try this out. And I started doing like a reading a day on TikTok, or maybe even multiple per day, because it was something that was really fun for me. And I learned as I went. I learned as I did it. It just, like, TikTok, it was like just practicing for me. But putting it out there felt more of like, I don't know, it made me more accountable for just really showing up in a way, because it's a different vibe than when you're just pulling cards for yourself and like saying things out loud. So it really felt good for me, especially as an Aquarian woman who is a humanitarian and just loves to connect with the people. It felt so good to give these messages. And at first it was like, yeah, I had people view, but then I got a tarot deck. I got the Mystic Mondays tarot deck. That was my very first one. And I was a little overwhelmed at first. I was like, I don't know what these cards mean, but of course these decks come with booklets. So what I would do is just pull a couple cards every day and write down the meanings of them, like from the booklet, just to get it, solidify it, get the meanings going. It's like learning a new language, pulling flashcards. It reminds me of Spanish class. I would always make flashcards, and it just like sunk in the more that I wrote it down and repeated it. And that's how I started with tarot. I was self-taught, and I also learned from watching other people's readings. That really taught me, because I'm like, oh, they're saying it was this card. Oh, and they're saying like love and abundance. Okay. And it just kind of like started to click in that way. So pretty quickly, I started to use tarot for these readings. At first, sometimes when a card would come out that I didn't know, I would just like stop the recording, redo it, look up that card. I don't know what that means. And I'm like, hopefully, eventually I started to learn all of the cards through this process of just like kind of pushing myself to do it in a way where I was like recording it. And that's really helpful. So that's a little tip for you. Even if you're not doing these things on social media, you can just record yourself doing it, so you can have that, you can watch it back, and there's just a different energy when you're, it's kind of like recording a voice note for yourself. You can hear it back versus just like listening to your thoughts about it. It just hits differently, and it depends on what kind of learner you are. And that's why I love Tarot Intuition Mastery, because we do it all. Like, I make sure I don't make sure, but you can have a deck that you can practice with when we're in class together. We can pull cards for each other. Looking at the cards, two different cards, two different suits together, like, well, what does that mean? And there's just so many different ways to decipher tarot. But what I really, really go into in Tarot Intuition Mastery, and the way I was self-taught as well, is intuition first. Intuition first. It is great to have a baseline of what the cards mean, and I give everyone a cheat sheet of every single card, all of their meanings. Although you do have these booklets where you can look at, what they mean just as far as whatever decks you have. But it's nice to have like a master sheet that you can reference for all the different meanings. So it's like we have the black and white of like what the cards mean, but most importantly, it's intuition. And what I mean by that is you are present with the energy. If you're reading for a particular person, you're present with their energy. If you're reading for yourself, you're present in the moment with your energy. Presence is key for tapping into intuition. And this is why I'm doing this free symbology class as well. And I do go into symbology in the course, is because that's what cards are. They're symbols, right? Like I have the sun card, the star card. The sun card is very joyful. And if you're watching the video, you can see it's bright yellow, and it's someone with their arms up looking at the sun. And it's just a really happy feeling. So just even not even knowing what the sun card is, it looks really happy. It looks bright. Her arms are up. It's like she's surrendering, right? So there's different things on each card. That's why I love having different decks, because they have different vibrations. And I love the Light Seers Tarot deck. That's the one that I have in my hand right now, because of the illustrations, because of the colors and the imagery. And there's so many little symbols throughout the deck, and a lot of decks, even a classic deck, where you can be like, ooh, that's sticking out to me right now for some reason. Like if I'm looking at this card, yeah, it's the sun, but there's a woman in it and she's wearing a red shirt. For some reason, the red shirt is sticking out to me. Now, that is something a lot of people would just write off if they're not really in tune with their intuition or in tune with how impactful symbology is. And that's why I really teach first in this course how to connect in with your intuition first and foremost. And if your eyes are going to something, then that is your intuition being like, there's something about the color red. And you can even just say that in the reading. And that's just an example here. Okay. So anyways, not to get too off, I just wanted to talk about, like, that's kind of a big like problem that people face, is that they second guess themselves, or they feel blocked, or they just don't trust what's coming through. And that's something I actually dealt with when I first got a tarot deck, because you guys know the feeling of being in a relationship or getting out of a relationship, or you have a crush and it's like, do they like me? Do they love me? Are we meant to be together? It was that type of energy that I was really like, no, I got to pull another card. I don't trust it. Even though it was telling me like, no, girl, move on. I was like, no, I don't trust that. Pull another card. Pull another card. It's like if you pull every card in the deck, then there's no reading there. You have to trust what comes out first. But in order to do so, we do a whole energy setup in Tarot Intuition Mastery. We really want to make sure we're connecting in with source, with the earth, and just feeling centered, grounded, making sure emotions are not high, because otherwise your intuition is tainted. That's why a lot of times it's easy to give advice to someone else, because your emotions are not involved. And it's easy to feel intuitively for someone else, like, obviously they need to, leave their job. You're not emotionally charged by that at all. So it's easy for you to say. And that's why that is a saying. It's easy for you to say, well, yeah, it is actually, because I'm not emotionally tied to my job at all, or finances, or all of this, the story of whoever's life it is. So it's really important to just like have the right setup, and to trust yourself, and to know that what is coming through is divine, and just not second guess it. Don't keep pulling cards, right? Because you should be able to have an intuitive message and tap in without cards. And this is what I'm also going to go into in the course. So yeah, Tim, it's short for Tarot Intuition Mastery, TIM. Tim is designed to help people develop confidence, trust themselves, and develop a unique connection to tarot. Not just one where you can go online, look up the card meanings, okay, this is what it means. It's a unique connection where it's your own flavor that's infused into your readings. And that is why my videos are very popular, is because I'm infusing my essence and my authenticity and my unique flavor into these readings. I'm not just robotic, like this card means this, so okay, so this is it's very flowy. It's very much the feminine, right? No matter what your gender is, it's like we all have the feminine energy that is the connection to the divine. So as long as you are connected, as long as you are confident, and as long as you allow yourself to be authentic, you're going to be successful with this. Again, even if it's not online, it could be doing local readings for, I'm seeing someone in their public library doing like a session for people an hour every Sunday and just having like a cool local event. This could be something, this is honestly one of the best things to bring to a party is a tarot deck. People always want to get readings, and people love just having one card pulled and just telling them some symbology about it, or just a message with that, and they feel good about that. Like, we don't have to do like full on hour-long readings for people. We can do little dabbles here and there, right? So there's a lot of different ways that you can use tarot, but really for me, it has amplified my intuition to totally new levels because it's helped me learn symbology in a way that I actually look at life now through the eyes of kind of like a decoder. Like, I'm decoding the symbols at all times because this whole reality is kind of like a big dream. And that's what I'll talk about in the free symbology class too, is like our dreams are so profound because they're just full of symbols. And when you decode them and you're curious about them, you'll be given more and more and more symbols when you become more aware of your dreams. But then you also become more aware in your waking reality of like, whoa, I can decode how this person is treating me, or this physical ailment, or like the other day when I was live on Instagram, a bird flew into the window, like right at my face. It was wild. If you were there, you saw my face. But that, I was like, that's a big symbol that just happened. Like, what are the chances? I've never seen that happen. And it was right at my face. It was when I was live. It was when I was talking about death and rebirth. And it did not die, thank God. It got up, and I was just like, it was like a wake-up call was coming through. So really, really interesting to look at life in that way and to allow tarot to help your connection to life. That's why it's so cool. It's not just like a random thing that like sometimes you can have fun with, which yeah, it can be actually, but it can be a really cool tool to really amplify your intuition when you learn the cards and you're tapped in with your intuition. The cards become easier to read. And then when the cards become easier to read, your intuition also develops. So it's just this constant cycle of development of intuition, learning tarot, developing intuition, learning tarot. And I'm still learning. Like I'm always learning because yes, there's 72 cards typically in a classic tarot deck, but there's so many layers and there's so many symbols and there's so much that you can play around with when it comes to tarot. Yes, on an individual card level, but also 2 different cards together, 3 different cards together, having this combination of cards come out. It's like, whoa, it's a story to unpack and to unfold and to just like be an explanation of the, whatever it is that's going on in your life. So you can use tarot just for confirmations, you can use tarot to, again, like connect with people. And it's a really great way to, have more fun in the spiritual type of way where it's physical, if that makes sense. So it's like physical symbols that are spiritual. So it's merging the two together, which I would argue is us as humans. We are souls incarnated as physical beings. And so tarot is kind of just like a really fun way to develop our connection with spirit, with God, with source, with our guides. And that is something that I would definitely recommend, is to focus in on one channel that you're tapping into when you do a reading. And I've said this before, but you don't want to, like, it's kind of like having a phone call with 8 different people, with source, with all of your guides, with your angels. It's like, wait a minute, let's do one at a time so you can actually receive the message more clearly. Okay. So with Tarot Intuition Mastery, we definitely obviously dive into intuition, but also how to find your own, again, like flavor of interpretation of the cards, your own, and that's your own relationship with symbology, which is so fun. You, like, through this course, you're going to learn how to stop second guessing yourself. And this course is also for beginners and for people that have done tarot or use tarot or even are tarot readers, because it will just help amplify your connection with your intuition and with the cards in a totally different way. So I don't start with card meanings in this course. I help you unlock your channel first, because what's the point of reading tarot if you're disconnected from yourself, which is really disconnected from your divinity? You'll learn to read beyond the traditional definitions and to tap into the unseen. We also dive into the major and minor arcana. So when it comes to the major arcana, it is the first 21 cards in the deck, and that represents more of themes of life. For example, the Sun card, right? I have the Strength card that also came out. So it's the ones with the words, right? The sun, the star, the Strength card. I don't know why they're all S's. That could be a sign for you. The Empress, the High Priestess, the Hierophant, all of those cards, the Lovers. These are the major arcana. And so they are more of the bigger themes. And then the minor arcana is broken down into 4 different suits: the Cups, which is water, the Swords, which is air, the Wands, which is fire, and the Pentacles, which is earth. So that's the 4 elements right there, represented by those 4 suits. And we have from an ace all the way to a king. So it goes ace, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then it goes into a page, a knight, a queen, and a king. So kind of like a regular deck of cards where it's like, you know, the king and the queen. And that is something I would be happy to talk about in the course as well, is actually using a regular deck of cards to do a tarot reading. Like, how fun is that? So that'll probably be a little bonus for you guys, maybe in live classes. Who knows? We'll see. It's going to unfold in a really cool way. But that's kind of like the breakdown of the suits and the cards and the major and minor. We go into that. We go into every single card. And that is the recorded classes. What I learned from the first round, just to be transparent with you guys, the first round of Tarot Intuition Mastery, we did 6 weeks, but we packed in so much by the end of it. The classes were like 3 hours long, because I was revealing the meanings of the cards in these live classes. So I was like, I'm not going to do that in the live classes this time. That's going to be the recording of me going through each and every card for you and talking about the cards. Whereas we'll use the live classes for live readings, for your questions, for group readings, and for all of that fun stuff, where it's not going to be a 3-hour class where it's like, oh my gosh, this is so much information. So I'm breaking it down in a way that's going to be so incredible, because you'll be able to watch the recording about the card meanings, or about, you know, the first couple of classes about symbology, intuition, how to set up your field, everything like that. And then you can come to class and be like, wait, I have a question about this. And it's going to be incredible. So I'm also going to have you guys do practice readings in the classes when you come live. And that is so helpful, because, again, there's something about being with other people, a camera. It doesn't have to be a camera. Even if we were in person in a circle doing this together, which hopefully will be the case sometime soon for us, doing like an in-person type of thing, but that's not the focus right now. So you'll have a chance to test your skills in a very supportive environment where we're all just learning together, and like you're not going to ever be wrong. It's just a more of just getting I'm just seeing a wheel, like a squeaky wheel, and just getting it to flow in a little bit more of like a way where it doesn't feel so like, I don't know what I'm doing. And it's okay to not know what you're doing at first. It just helps you practice and get those skills down with a group of people. It'll be so much fun. So this course is really for people who feel a pull toward tarot, but it feels so overwhelming where you're like, I don't really know how to go about using it. It's for people who want to read for themselves and other people like with clarity, where you can really trust it. And this is also for people that want to just strengthen their intuition, and like the tarot can be funsies as well. It's just like a fun thing to have. And it could be a hobby. Do you guys know how important hobbies are in our life? They are so important. It helps balance out our energy when we actually use and use our energy within a passion, within a hobby. So this could be that for you, and it will literally change your frequency. That's why it's activating, this class. And so, yeah, if you want to make tarot your business, if you want it to just amplify your business, or even like help you amplify your intuition and use tarot in accordance with your business. It doesn't have to be your business, but it can be about like next steps to take, or about who to hire or things like that. So, like I said, there is special pricing for people who join the waitlist. So make sure you're on that, because I'm also giving away a one-on-one session. And you also will be in a community of people that are going through this process with you. Right now, I have a Telegram group for the TIM members who are still active in it from last course. And that was a couple months ago, and they're still doing readings for each other, very much soul family vibes. I have testimonials if you want to read those as well. I'm going to be putting those out there a little bit more, like on my Instagram stories and on my website. So yeah, if you've been feeling the nudge to go deeper, this is definitely your sign to do so, especially if you've made it through the end of this episode. Like I have transformed. Seriously, I'm not even kidding you. My life has transformed ever since I started to use tarot. And I'm not going to blame it on tarot. It's kind of like the effect of my energy shifting. But also, it was a part of the cause for sure, because it was something that allowed me to grow as far as a public figure, as far as a teacher, and just my passion. And again, like it's a hobby for me. It's so many things for me. And I want to help you do this for yourself as well, because it's incredible what this will unlock and open up for you as an intuitive. And I believe that if you're watching this, you are an intuitive 100%. So I'll make sure I have all of the links below. If you have any questions, please let me know. But I'm going to do a little reading for you guys. I almost forgot to do a little reading for you guys. All right, so I'm just going to connect in here. And if you want to take a nice deep breath too, so I can tap in with you, because time does not exist in the quantum field. It doesn't matter when you're listening to this, even if it's next year. Ooh, I just got a little dizzy in like a fun way. Okay, what is it that they need to hear right now as they're listening to it, please? What is it they need to hear? This is exactly the message they need to hear right now. And that's actually another powerful thing. I'll just say, instead of asking, it's claiming. This is what they need to hear right now. This is what they need to hear right now. This is what they need to hear right now. I'm tapping in with my I'm tapping in with my guides today. I just had such a beautiful connection with them yesterday. I am feeling very connected with my guides right now. So let's tap in with my guides, and they work with your guides to deliver this message. So thank you, guides, for this message, for whoever is watching or listening to this episode today, whenever they're listening. Wow, okay. Oh my goodness. And I usually am just pulling, like for something like this, I'm just kind of intuitively feeling into how many cards to pull. I'm not like, I'm only going to get 1 or 2 or 3. I'm just like, basically, tell me when to stop, guides. Okay, so I'm feeling called to stop there. And I like to look at the order that they come out because it kind of is a story. The order like this. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. And then I'm also looking at the back of the deck, which I love to do when I stop the shuffle. And then I'm also going to look at the top of the deck. Beautiful. We have the 10 of Cups at the top and the King of Cups at the back. Cups energy is about love, about relationships, especially 10 of Cups. That is having so much love. And it's not only having so much love in your heart, it's sharing that love. On the card, it's a family that is pictured with a big rainbow wrapping around them with 10 really beautiful, all different color rainbow cups. So this is sharing love. So when I look at the top of the deck or back of the deck, sometimes I look at that as the theme. And that's what it looks like. It seems like there's, with the King of Cups to the 10 of Cups, and all of the cards in between is like a story of how to get from one place to another. And it looks like when you really tap in with the King of Cups energy, which is for me the Jesus Christ card, which represents forgiveness and unconditional love at like the highest level, feeling at peace, releasing judgment. And that is leading to a lot of love with other people. So that's kind of the theme here of shifting into this, Jesus Christ energy. You know what I mean? No big deal. And he has like a floating crown at the top of his head. And that's what's really sticking out to me right now. So something about royalty could be significant. Maybe like a TV show you've seen with royalty or like the royal family. And then also Pisces season, because the King of Cups, he's wearing a fish necklace. And fish to me, sometimes it represents Pisces. And right now, as I'm recording this, Pisces season is really significant about tapping in with your inner peace and looking at where maybe you've been judging yourself. If there's been any kind of stickiness in your life, it's coming through that it's because of some sort of judgment of doing something wrong, or judgment of not doing it good enough, or just basically shoulding all over yourself, which is not a wonderful vibration. That's actually the vibration of shame, which is very, very low on the scale of frequency. So there's something about awakening to a new sense of love in yourself that's actually going to bring in soul family, maybe actual family, maybe a deeper connection to your family now. This could be a new lover. It could be a new relationship, okay? And so with the first card that actually came out was the Queen of Pentacles, which is a very grounded energy. Confirmation burp. With the Pentacles energy, this is earth, okay? So we had water with the cups. The Pentacles energy is earth. She is sitting here very secure, very happy. Her eyes are closed. She's feeling great. Talk about peace. So that's a theme that I'm seeing in the King of Cups. His eyes are closed. He's feeling peaceful. The Queen of Pentacles, her eyes are closed. She's feeling peaceful. So having your eyes closed and just feeling at peace with where you are is very significant here. So this goes along with the Cups energy, the love energy, because when you are in the Queen of Pentacles energy, you are feeling very secure and very grounded in yourself. You don't need anything else because you are it. And this has to do with finances as well. It could. And abundance, your relationship to abundance, which a lot of times finances represents our relationship with abundance in general, feeling abundant. And it could be like a business, right? It could be just something about finances, something about abundance. But she's a tree basically in this card. And so it's feeling really grounded in yourself is really significant here. Okay. So as I go, I'm really going to tap into the advice that's coming through tarot, because we can tap into tarot, and depending on what the intention is, like today I kind of kept it very general of like, what do you need to know? But I can really tap in with like, what are you feeling right now? And that's what I usually start my readings off with, is like present, past, present, future. So for example, with the shame type of situation, moving out of the shame, that's kind of this past, maybe present energy that you're moving out of in order to receive this love on all the levels, inner and outer love. Speaking of love, the next card is the Lovers. So exciting. So this really could have to do with a relationship, but it's not. And on this card, there's two people looking into each other's eyes. And it almost looks like their eyes are closed. So more eyes closed. More signs. These two people are different ethnicities. The color red is at the background. Just different things I'm picking up, right? Her hair is wrapping around his hair. They both have long hair. She has a tattoo, right? It looks like there's wind moving through, and there's a Merkaba, which is sacred geometry, that's right at the center. So lots of symbols, even just from this one card. And I just wanted to point that out as far as like what I look at when I'm reading. And so with the Lovers, it looks like there is, so the Lovers, yes, it represents love, of course, but in a more particular way, it's choosing love over fear, or it's an opportunity to choose love over fear. Like, what is the choice going to be? So with the first card being the Queen of Pentacles, this is letting us know that it's really important for you to be grounded and secure and feeling safe in yourself in order to make the best choice for you. Because if you're not feeling grounded or secure, you're more likely to live in survival, which means you're taking action, making choices out of fear. So again, you can reflect, where are you making choices out of fear? Where am I not feeling secure in my life? In all of the 8 areas of life. Is it your career? Is it financial? Is it your relationships? Is it your hobbies? Is it, just social situations? It doesn't matter where it's coming from. It's just important to look at where there might be an imbalance in life. And so at a very physical level, this could be making a choice of being in a relationship with someone. But what's really cool, the next cards, we have the Queen of Wands and Judgment. These are very spiritual cards, very spiritual cards. So your guidance here is to really allow yourself to be one with the divine. Judgment is very much a coming to Jesus moment. The Queen of Wands is tapping into your spiritual gifts. It's like a witch type of card. These are powerful cards. And again, I mentioned the major and minor arcana. We have one major here with the Judgment and one minor. So it's like the theme of really connecting in with the divine, with also the sub theme, if you will, of connecting with the divine through your gifts. She's using a wand, but she's looking at the energy coming out of her hand. That is significant. Your hands are significant. In both of these pictures, they're using their hands. Their hands are prominent in these pictures. So that's something I'm noticing. Your hands are significant to, maybe you do Reiki, or you're an energy worker, or you're being called to really start working with that and playing around with that, just like I did with tarot, in like the safest way, of course, like not just messing around with anyone's energy, or you know what I mean, like practicing on yourself at first. So there's something about a spiritual awakening, Judgment could be as well, or your gifts awakening through this choice that you're making from a grounded place. See how we're kind of creating the story here? And then we have more Cups energy and Pentacles energy, the Page of Cups, the Seven of Cups, and the Six of Pentacles. So this is really cool. I love that the reading ended with the Six of Pentacles, because this is reciprocation. This is getting what you give, giving what you get. So there's some sort of reciprocation. This is also generosity coming your way, it feels like. So with the Page of Cups, Seven of Cups, it looks like there's a new person. It feels like a new person. Page is like a younger energy, newer energy. So maybe it's someone that's younger than you coming into your life, someone new, someone exciting, someone like, I don't know, there's this innocent vibe. With Page of Cups, it's very much like, oh, I have a crush and I'm so excited. Sometimes it can be a little like Fantasyland. of like dreaming about someone. So someone could be dreaming about you. There's this energy of like just feeling dreamy and excited. And also, I want to say the Queen of Wands is very magnetic. So it seems like you are drawing in this magnetism into your life. You are magnetic. So you're drawing in new people, new experiences, and new love with the Page of Cups. And the Seven of Cups is you're going to have options here, my friend. This is options. It could also be distraction. So you want to make sure you're not distracted by fantasy, right? Because in the Page of Cups card, there is a pig flying. So that's a little fantastical. So try not to get swept up into fantasy and like really stay grounded, because we did, again, have that Queen of Pentacles. Being grounded is very key here with this love that is shifting in your life in some way. And as you do so, there's going to be some sort of reciprocation of energy. And this could be a gift of like gratitude, someone like feeling so grateful for you that they're giving you a gift, because Pentacles energy is earth energy, which is physical things. But also it represents energetically like getting what you give. So maybe for years you gave in relationships that you never received back, and now it's time for you to receive that. And coming back to what we started with, the King of Cups and Ten of Cups, it's all about you and the lovers, you know, like choosing love. You choosing yourself, because that's choosing love. You are love. If you're not choosing yourself, that's not choosing love. So it's really important. The overall message here is to really focus here on where you're not. Don't focus on where you're not choosing yourself, but become aware of where there might be holes in your creator field that is creating any sort of shame, any sort of guilt that is making you feel like I'm not lovable in any kind of way, subconscious way. It doesn't have to be like thinking every day, I'm not lovable, but there's an energy to us. And when we're really connected in with unconditional love and forgiveness, that's when our energy field is so beautiful that we have these soul family members come in, that we have these soulmates and these other people that are meant to be in our lives to amplify our love come in and give us what we deserve with the Six of Pentacles. So this is a really beautiful, very beautiful reading for you guys to really just remind you of how important it is to be grounded in your own security and not to rely on someone else for that. And it's not to say that in a relationship, the other person shouldn't make you feel secure. That's all on you. I'm just saying this is the law of resonance. When you're resonating with someone, when someone's resonating with you and you're not feeling secure, you're going to attract insecure people if you're like looking for a relationship or something, just as an example. So when the more secure that you are, the more people that will come into your life that are very secure within themselves, they're also choosing from love, not fear. And it's just going to be this ripple effect of beauty and love. I mean, with all of these cups cards coming out, there's a lot of love that looks like it's coming into your life, and it's exciting. It's new. There's something about like your inner child being really happy. And this is what really amps up your magnetism, is your connection to your inner child and your connection with the Lord, or with Source, or with God, whatever you want to call it, or even Jesus Christ. I mentioned Jesus Christ. So it's like whatever floats your boat as far as that goes, as long as you have a connection with the divine, this is really going to amplify a lot for you when it comes to getting exactly what you deserve. Because you always get what you believe you deserve. So even if it's not consciously, if you believe that you don't deserve the best, then you're going to be shown that. So it's important for you to release that pattern of attracting those certain people, but more importantly, of releasing that shame or guilt that results in attracting those people that resonate with your energy in one way or another. So this is really beautiful, because it looks like if you're watching this or listening to this episode, there's so much love that you are. Of course, as always, we all are, but you're really tapping into it. And this is attracting in new people that are very loving, that are on your same wavelength, who also are connected to God, who are also connected to their hearts and feel grounded in themselves and want to give you from their heart, not from their ego of like, oh, it makes me feel better to give to you. Like, you know, those like surface level relationships where everyone's wearing a mask, you don't really know the person. And I just look up and I see 4422. This is a longer episode, but I really wanted to do a reading for you guys here at the end. Just to thank you for being here with me and to give you a little taste of what's to come in this course when I really break down. And I didn't do like a full breakdown of what I was reading, but I kind of gave you a little taste of it, of how they work together and how the story just totally unfolds when you pull all of these quote unquote random cards together. Nothing is random. So congratulations, because you are someone who is really learning how, and it takes courage to choose love over fear, because we're programmed to choose fear over love, because it's survival, because it's go, 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 masculine energy. You're only successful doing this, or like not sleeping, or putting this amount of hours in. Like, that is very toxic masculinity that we're moving away from and moving into that balanced energy where you're giving yourself what you deserve. Therefore, other people will give you that as well. And there's so much love, so much love coming in. And I'm blessed to have you listening to this episode, watching it, wherever you're watching it. Thank you for subscribing, for sharing, for downloading, for commenting, for liking, just interacting with this episode in any way. It means so much to me, and I can't wait to meet you guys in Tarot Intuition Mastery. It's going to be so much fun. Like, I really have not been this excited for a course in a really long time, because I feel the divinity that just like has been moving through me to help you guys just reach new levels in your intuition and in using tarot. So it's going to be off the charts, amazing. And so excited to meet you. If you have questions, I'll leave my email below. You can also DM me on Instagram, feel free. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.